The following broadcast is the exclusive production of LVH1 and the Union North United School Corporation. Any retransmission or duplication of this production without the written consent of LVH1 is expressly prohibited. Live from the LaVille Baseball Diamond. It's a baseball night here in Lakeville, Indiana. The Lancers of LaVille will take on the Dragons of Rochester High School. Baseball coming up. A very pleasant good afternoon. Here's your starting lineups from the PA announcer, Mr. Steve Cox.
Perez. Batting third and playing first base, number 7, Carter Hooks. Batting fourth and designated hitter, number 1, Tanner Music. Batting fifth and playing third base, number 8, Austin Foster. Batting sixth and playing left field, number 12, Zach Deshawn. Batting seventh and playing right field, number 23, Clay Bayou. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 4, Thomas Rensberger. Batting ninth and playing center field, number 21, Joey Rock. Designated hitter is hitting for the catcher, number 17, Alan Pfeiffer. Zebras are coached by Corey Good. And now for your LaVille Lancers. Leading off and playing left field, number 8, Nick Felke. Batting second and catching, number 2, Anthony Felke. Batting third and pitching, number 4, Adam Steinke. Batting fourth and playing second base, number 15, Parker Horvath. Batting fifth and playing center field, number 12, Justin DeClark. Batting sixth and playing first base, number 26, Jacob Fogel. Batting seventh and playing third base, number 14, Anthony Fagley. Batting eighth and playing right field, number 21, Josh DeLaurel. Batting ninth and playing shortstop, number 5, Riley Cox. Lancers are coached by Brian Lawler. Umpires working the base pass is Greg Dedinger, and behind the plate is Adam Beery. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please stand. Gentlemen, please remove your caps as we honor this great nation and the men and women who are keeping this country safe with the playing of our national anthem. That is not the national anthem.
Your national anthem and your starting lineups from Mr. Steve Cox. I made one mistake already, but I got it out of the way. It's the Rochester Zebras. The Zebras of Rochester. I had Argus on my mind for one reason or another. I do apologize to the Zebra fans here who have traveled to Lakeville for today's game. It's a non-conference game. The Zebras bring in a 1-7 record in the Three Rivers Conference. The Lancers bring in a 9-7 record in the Hoosier North Conference, I believe. We will double-check those alongside Dennis Fights, my color man, and my indispensable stat man. Our videographer for this evening is Terry Hostetler. I'm Matthew Florian for LVH1. Very pleased that you're with us here on this YouTube production of Lancer Varsity Baseball. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Athletics.
From Jamestown to Jonesville, from North Salem to South Milford, from River Forest to Grass Creek. No matter where you live in Indiana, you can enjoy high school sports coverage at its very best on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. It's 35 powerhouse radio stations, Fox Sports Indiana, and the World Wide Web, combining their vast resources to blanket the state, the Midwest, and the world with the purest, most riveting presentation of high school sports in America. From Anderson to Attica, Kendallville to Kokomo, follow the high school sports that make our state great all season long. Thank you, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, and welcome home.
Mr. Adam Beery is the home plate umpire. Mr. Greg Dettinger is the bases umpire for our IHSAA officials. Alongside Dennis Fights, Terry Hostetler, and Matt Florian. Very happy you're here. It's time for baseball in Lakeville, Indiana. We'll get to our pregame interviews just a moment. We're a little bit behind this evening. We appreciate you sticking around with us. The Lancers of LaVille face the Zebras of Rochester High School. Dennis, what a great day for baseball. It's about 70 degrees out, not too windy. Sunny, not a cloud in the sky, except for that teeny tiny one that doesn't really count. It's going to be a great night for baseball.
I would agree. When I passed the school about 15 minutes ago, it said 75, which sounded perfect after just a shaky beginning of the week with weather, and then the last 2 days have really started to come around, and hopefully we can have it for the Hoosier North Conference tournament for softball on Saturday, and later on we can have it for sectionals.
It's good to have on the horn once again for us Mr. Steve Cox, the invaluable voice of Lancer Athletics if you're in the arenas for basketball and for baseball. Fouled off, so 0-1 start. That's Adam Steinke on the mound. Hit by pitch. Not a good start, but he will get first base. Hit by pitch.
Not the way you want to start off the game if you are Steinke. 2 pitches in and you already have a base runner on.
Yeah, not the best of starts.
Hit him with a breaking ball.
Swing and fouled up nearly over the backstop. The comment there from Coach Will Holstrauser, doing book as usual for the Lancers, make the umpire run the ball. Is that a good thing or a not good thing, Coach Will? For Rochester, not good. Stolen base there by Holland. Felke tried a pick off, kind of not a super motivated kind of throw, just early in the game. They'll concede that without a wild one, so that'll be a runner at second base. 1-1 the count. Called strike. Outside, nice handling of that. Anthony Felke behind the plate as usual, catching for the Lancers. Swung hard, fouled up. That'll be scooped by Fogel. Tossed over to Steinke at first base. Out number 1. Runner advances to third. Top of the first.
1 out and a runner standing on third is not where Steinke wants to be at this moment of the game.
Carter Hooks at the plate for Rochester. Zebras as a team have been batting pretty well overall. I'm pulling up the stats as usual. Strike called, 0-1 the count. As a team, they're 307, not shabby at all.
No.
1-8. I was stand corrected. 1-8 in the Three Rivers Conference. Hit hard there to Parker Horvath at second base. He will toss it over to Fogel. Full stretch, out number 2 for the Lancers.
Scratches across the runner on third to home, though, giving a 1-run lead to the Zebras.
So a run will score.
1 run comes across.
And on the sacrifice single, if you will, or sacrifice ground out.
Number 1, Tanner Music.
Music at the plate. The senior batting .455 on the season. Swung hard, though. Good pitch there by Steinke.
Steinke's been pitching very well this season.
On the year, straight down the middle, called ball.
I believe he is second on the team with strikeouts, only following Parker Horvath, who pitched very well last night in a close, but yet again still a loss to the Clay Colonials.
We'll hear from Coach Lawler in just a bit in the middle of the inning about that game. What do you say? I mean, a 7-5 loss, always tough, but against a 4A team, against a lights-out pitcher like we saw in Stover last night, 8 Ks in a relief. Absolute ace for the Colonials. 3-1 the count. Here's the pitch from Steinke. Swung hard, fouled off, and out of play on the first base side.
And it's bouncing off the track. He got a piece of it just really far foul. Full count here for Steinke. Going to be interesting to see what he throws.
Gets the call. 2 outs. Top of the first. Swung hard. Riley Cox there at shortstop will scoop, make the throw over to Fogel. A little bit high and out. Greg Dedinger with the punch out at first base signal. So the Lancers concede a run, but start strong on defense. Top of the first, 1-0 is the score in favor of the Zebras of Rochester over your Lancers. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Athletics. Now this pregame interview that I recorded earlier from Lancer head coach, Mr. Lawler. Coach Lawler, tough outing yesterday against a really stacked South Bend Clay team. Talk about how the Lancers fared against the Colonials yesterday night.
Yeah, you're right. Very tough team we played. We came out first 2 innings, swung the bats pretty well. Had 3 in the first, 2 in the second. Then you just got to kind of tip your cap to the second guy they brought in, Jackson. I mean, he shut us down the rest of the game. And they got the big inning late, and they got the win. So
a lot of growing still from this Lancer team. We saw Riley Cox get caught in what can you say other than a really good no-look blind toss over to second. Talk about some of the development that we've seen and how you correct that for this game tonight and then moving into sectionals.
Yeah, we just kind of call that a freshman mistake. And it's tough with 11 guys, a lot of guys bouncing around different positions, second base, third base, then jumping the outfield. So it's tough, but we're working hard and they're getting better. And we got 3 games left here. Hopefully we can cut down on some of those mistakes before we get into the one-and-done format of the sectional.
Shifting gears today for the Rochester Dragons. Talk about this team. They're from the Three Rivers Conference, another non-conference game, but talk about what they bring to the diamond today.
Yeah, this is going to be another tough game for us. Kind of what we said about when we finished up conference, 2 tough games, Wednesday, Thursday this week, and then we had 2 more on Saturday. That's what we want. We want to be playing good teams at the end of the year and kind of see where we're at and hopefully get us ready for sectionals.
Keys to winning tonight here at home.
Keys are the same for us every game. We need to catch the ball, really cut down on the errors, get some timely hitting, and then, of course, always throw strikes and not put people on base with the walks.
One last thing. It's the last scheduled home game here. We moved to the Newton Park for sectionals. Talk about how the field's been this year. I mean, not just obviously the grass is beautiful, but talk about how the home stand has been for this Lancer campaign this year.
Yeah, we've been doing pretty well at home. It's nice to get out here at 3:30, get some defensive work in and some offensive work, BP-wise, and then get ready for the game. So hopefully we finish up strong here in the last home game.
Appreciate it, Coach Lawler, as always. Thanks.
Thank you.
Nick Felke, top of the lineup for the Lancers, bottom of the first. And I said it again. I think I owe the Zebras another few push-ups. I had said the Dragons. I'm not sure where my brain was earlier today talking to Coach Lawler. But the Zebras lead the Lancers 1-0, but Felke is ahead in the count 2-0. Here's the delivery, 2-1 now, called strike. And a lot of what he said, makes complete sense. A lot of the problems yesterday were just facing a really, really good team and, not sticking with them as much as they would have liked late in the game.
No, just a very close game, and they hit the ball. LaVille did nothing wrong, just played a very good team, and like you said, LaVille was shut down the final 5 1/3 innings after scoring 5 runs fast.
Felke swinging strikeout. That'll be out number 1. That'll bring up Anthony Felke to the plate. 1-out situation on the mound for the Zebras. And I'll double check that. I'll have Holland on the mound. Thank you very much.
I wanted to check that out before we got too far into this game as well.
These stats have to be incomplete. They show him as a senior who has not pitched in a game, which also makes me question some of the stats. According to Max Preps, the, of course, always incontrovertible source for stats on high school athletics, their season total for ERA is 9.43.
Well, I was looking earlier, and their games played total was 13.
Yeah.
Which there's no possible way I would buy that.
No.
Correct.
Their overall is 4-14. 1-8 as Felke gets a chopper to the third base line. Toss out number 2 for the Lancers. That'll bring up Steinke batting third.
2 outs, nobody on. Batting third and pitching. Number 4, Adam Steinke.
Tip of the hat also to 8th grader Kaylin Curley. She's out at the main gate today. She's doing one of her projects at school here is to raise canned goods for I believe it's the State Line Brethren Church here in town. And for every canned good that people brought to the ballpark, that'll be out number 3. For every canned good that people brought to the ballpark today, they were given a coupon for a free item from the concession stand. So, lots of fans here. Always good to see the community involved, and always good to see the students involved in their athletic teams. Right now, the Lancers trail 1-0. Top of the second coming up. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Athletics. Austin Foster stepping up for the Rochester Zebras. Top of the second. Rochester has a 1-0 lead. Swung hard and missed. Steinke on the mound for LaVille has been probably one of the strongest players. I mean, never mind on the mound, I should say, just about everywhere on the field or the basketball court or the hit hard. That'll be up. Jacob Fogel's got a play on it and out. Well done on the first base line. Make sure that Terry Hostetler is following that. He's working video for us. Dennis Feitz is working stats and color. I'm Matthew Florian for LVH1. 1 out situation coming up to the plate is Zach Dishon.
One thing I would like to mention, though, is Adam Steinke still has a no-hitter in context.
Here we go again. Well, thank you. The fix is in.
I knocked on wood.
Oh,
The
that's
fix is
all
not
it takes. There's a lot of chatter from the port side of the press box there. Wild pitch there. Felke can't hang on to it, so it's 1-1.
Well, we had a discussion like this yesterday.
Oh,
though.
good, yeah. Dennis Buzzkill Fights. Swung hard, fouled up, out of play. Felke on the season is, I'm sorry, not Felke. I'm looking at pitching. Steinke is 2 for 6, straight up. That'll be back to the pitcher. Toss over to first. Out number 2. 2.60 ERA, 2-1 as a starter. He's K'd 36 batters for the Lancers. Clay Bayou up the plate for Rochester. Zebras lead 1-0, top of the second, 2 outs. Outside, ball 1.
Just looking at these stats, and
Bayou on the season, and again, I don't know how accurate these stats are. 0.95 batting average in 21 at-bats for the young man from the Zebra team. He's worked a 1-1. Here's a delivery from Adam. That'll be up. He's got to play on it if Fogel can get there. Cannot.
maximum effort put out by Fogel.
Yeah. He's shaking it off. Jacob Fogel, this will be, I believe, his 4th game back this season. He's been fighting off a lingering arm injury. I believe he had surgery in the offseason. So it's good to have him back, one of the leaders and one of the athletic leaders of this team. Here's delivery, swung hard. And that'll be out number 3. We go to the bottom of the second. Lancers trailing the Zebras of Rochester 1-0. You're listening to LVH1. Live on YouTube and around the world on Twitter at LVH1 Live, the voice of Lancer Athletics. We're back here at the LaVille Baseball Diamond. Stepping up to the plate, I should say, with the bat for the Lancers. Number 15, Parker Horvath. The junior's been hitting .289 on the season. He's been looking to improve. Talked to him a few times throughout the day after the game yesterday and today. He keeps giving me grief. He says, you only show up when I don't get good hits. So we'll see what he can do against this hitter. Swung hard.
And it goes in the swamp.
Into the swamp. We'll see what he can put up against Holland. Oh, 0-2 quickly for Parker. Swung hard. Nearly into the Rochester dugout on the third base side. Way to foul it off there.
Pitcher's really attacking what would be the inside corner of the plate for a right-handed batter, but the outside part of the plate for Parker, and he's fighting it off well.
And Beery, our home plate umpire. There's playable. That'll drop in left field. That's a base hit for Parker. He will hold at first base. So, first batter at the plate for the Lancers in this inning. Leadoff single. And that'll bring up number 12, Justin DeClark.
Number 12, Justin DeClark.
He made several nice catches last night.
He
did a one-man top 5 highlight reel, swung hard. Can't get to it, and that'll be an error charged to the Rochester Zebras. So it could have been an easy out at first, turns into a blooping grounder single. So runners advance to first and second for the Lancers, and that'll bring up big Jacob Fogel. See what happens with this man at the plate. Jacob Fogel has been really itching to get back into the game. He's hitting .231, 4 games played. As we said, this will be his 5th on the season. 13 plate appearances, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 RBIs. 0-1 the count. Holland's first pitch. Here's the second. Ooh, tough swing and a miss there for Fogel. 0-2 the count. No outs. Bottom of the second. Lancers trail the Rochester Zebras 1-0.
Just a hair late on that swing. He looked to time it up.
Swung hard and missed. Out number 1. Fogel wanted all of it, just a little bit off on the swing. That'll bring up number 14. Fagley at the
for the Lancers, third base,
for the Lancers.
14, Anthony Fagley.
Swung hard, popped up. That'll be up and back, and here it comes. Ooh. Nearly into the fans there. There's a nice souvenir for about 30 seconds until Mr. Holland comes over and says, nope, we need that one.
Well, his little brother actually got it, so wise decision to give it to Big Brother.
You can hold on to it for a little bit, right? Souvenir?
I don't think so.
0-1, swung hard. That'll be playable, but foul. That'll hold the runners at first and second. Carter Hooks coming over to make the play
2 outs.
in foul territory for Rochester. And stepping up to the plate, right fielder, number 21, Dillarell. Josh is hitting .308 on the season. Pretty good game yesterday in right field as well. Forgot to mention with Fagley, fouled, and that'll be just a little chip shot there from Dillarell. Fagley had a really good outing in relief. I think part of the problem was he ended up taking the relief loss simply because, how are you going to fight against a team with the bats that Clay had?
Well, another thing is he was relieving for a pretty good part of the game. I think he pitched roughly half of the game, and Parker Horvath pitched the first half. So,
I almost want to say that Horvath was pulled in the middle of the third. I'm not sure.
That was my thought, and then that would leave 3.5 innings for Fagley to have pitch. I don't know if he took it, but
that's close enough. Adam Beery, our home plate umpire, says hit by pitch. So loaded base situation, and it's it's our favorite the favorite hitter of the announcer here at the Lancer baseball diamond, shortstop number 5, Riley Cox. Grandfather Steve Cox will be here on the PA. Swung hard and missed.
A single will at least tie this game.
One strike.
A little coaching from the press box.
That's all right. 2 out situation. Swung hard, chip shot, fouled. He's got it. Just needs to put a good bat around. He's been doing a great job on the defensive side for the Lancers. He had a couple of phenomenal plays at third base yesterday against Clay. One absolutely stellar catch.
He's been seeming to be a player who moves around a lot. I mean, he started at second yesterday, then he went to third, and today he's playing short. So, I mean, a very versatile infielder.
And again, just little things learning. I mean, he's waving off Parker Horvath at third. He saw that catcher was able to hold on. High, good eye, 2-2. Said it once, I'll say it 100,000 times. He will be a fantastic player in another year or two. Defensively, he's already showing some really good signs of excellent defensive swing. That'll be swing and a miss, and that'll be Riley Cox. Third out for the Lancers. So, bottom of the second, that'll be third inning coming up. Lancers trail the Zebras of Rochester 1-0. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Athletics.
Top of the third inning.
Stepping up to the plate for Rochester, number 4, Thomas Rensberger. Zebras have a 1-0 lead over the Lancers, top of the third inning. Dennis Feitz doing color. Terry Hostetler doing our video. I'm Matt Florian. Swung hard. Strike one. Popped up. This will be playable. Steinke's underneath it and easy out. Number 1, top of the third. And defensively, I mean, this team has just gotten better and better. We're late to the season here. LVH1 just catching up to what has been a pretty fantastic season for this baseball squad.
Yes, well, half of the games that the boys have played have been on the exact same night as the girls, with Mr. Florian being the announcer and trying to broadcast and owning the equipment to an extent. He has the say-so, so we broadcast softball, but it's nice to come to a couple baseball games late in the season.
I'm obligated to go, swung hard, lost by Felke. It's kind of tough. You can't have the equipment one place and be announcing at the other. I just got to hang on to the equipment and figure out where we're at. 0-2 to Rock. Ball 1.
Good miss there.
Good eye by number 21 for Rochester. Swung in the dirt, dropped by Felke. That'll be an easy chip over to Jacob Fogel. Out number 2 for the Lancers. Top of the order for the Zebras. Alec Holland, the pitcher, will be stepping up.
Number 2, Alec Holland.
And that is Steinke's second K of the night, adding to a season total of 36 coming in. Fouled up and out of play, third base side, into the dugout and into the dirt pile behind the dugout there.
One of his teammates called him Holly. I don't think that made him happy.
I don't think that was the point. Swung hard. That'll be a left field. Nick Felke can't get underneath it. Oh, I take it back. I owe that man some push-ups, too. Over the shoulder catch. Came a couple of steps in, then went a couple of steps out, and that'll be the end of the top of the third. Bottom of the third coming up. Lancers are behind the Rochester Zebras 1-0 here at Lakeville. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Athletics.
Back to the top of the Lancer lineup.
Bottom of the third here at Lakeville. LVH1 is proud to be bringing you Lancer baseball against the Zebras of Rochester High School. Top of the order for the Lancers, number 8, Nick Felke, left field. He's been doing a great job. He's been really improving. He's proud of his second-best team batting average behind his brother Anthony, number 2 in the lineup.
All I can say is don't doubt Nick Felke in left field. I mean, that's what practicing in the gym on the off-season's for. I mean, He turned the wrong way after he misread it, then he corrected himself, and he made a nice catch.
Yeah, well rebuked after that one. Double check our numbers here. We are live tweeting this game as well. Obviously, this is a recording on YouTube. We hope you will follow us on YouTube and hit the subscribe button at the bottom of the page underneath the video. We also hope that you will follow us on Twitter at LVH1 Live, where we will be manning social media. Into the dirt and behind the catcher. Ball 2. No, check that. Is that ball 3?
No, that's ball 2, but a double click by Mr. Jason Cox doing the press box. Felke on the 2-2 pitch. And that will force a full count.
Anthony getting his running in. Doing a great job there. Brothers have really been hitting the ball very, very well. Between the two of them, they are averaging, mind you, 318. 318 on the year, I think. Hard hit by Felke. There we go. That'll drive it into shallow center field. Lead off single for the Lancers, and that'll bring up Anthony Felke. Anthony batting .322, 26 runs, 19 hits, 7 RBIs for Nick. And that'll bring up Anthony. Anthony's batting .310, 58 at-bats, 22 runs, 18 hits, 15 RBIs for the junior. And doing a very good job also behind the plate, catching as well.
I must make one small correction, Mr. Florian.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
They have the second and third best batting averages on the team behind Mr. Adam Steinke, who has a .529.
I'm looking at that now. I'm going to have a word with him because he was I'm going to actually have a word with him because he said this. I said the same thing. I was almost sure that Adam had a better batting average than one or both of them, but apparently not, or at least that's not the story I heard. Quick pick off attempt by Holland. Not in time.
Maybe he hasn't checked max preps in a while.
I wonder whose numbers is he looking at? Swung hard, popped up. Anthony knows he's probably not going to get benefit of a drop there, and even still, it would have been a one-out situation no matter how you slice it. Nick Felke on the first base bag.
1 out.
So 1 out, and that'll bring up the actual batting average leader, according to Max Preps, Adam Steinke. 523 on the season, 20 games played.
Well, the thing I don't get about what Adam must have said to you is he has 200 over anybody else on the team. Being both the Felke brothers.
Oh, no, this will be a tough call at
Safe
at third. It was a blooping catch that was missed by the second baseman, Rensberger, went into shallow center field, and I was almost sure that they were going to gun him down at third. That would have been an interesting call, I think. The case could have been made for interference at second. It would have been a strong case, I'll admit that. But there goes Adam Steinke. That's all the way out of there. The second home run of the season comes from the bat of Adam Steinke, brings in a run, and that's the lead for the Lancers. Touch them all, touch them all, touch them all, Adam.
2 RBI there on Steinke's home run. So he has to feel pretty good about that.
Nice job. That is only the second recorded home run. The other one was by Parker Horvath, who now is
you're right. Yeah. I was looking at triples, Steinke has the only triple of the season for the Lancers.
Well, it took him most of the season, but he's finally hit the cycle.
Yes.
Fantastic job by that young man, and suddenly it's a 2-1 lead. Parker Horvath, I think the only concern I have now, knowing Parker, he has a little bit of a competitive edge, just a little bit of a competitive edge. He's going to want to go hard after it. 1-1, called strike outside that last pitch from Holland.
He's going to really want to attack the pitcher, especially after getting a single his first time up.
Here's the pitch. Inside. Ball 2. Swung hard, fouled off, third base side, out of play.
That Swamp is definitely collecting the baseball collection today. You think the players are asked to autograph them after the games?
Probably not. I don't know if they're able to find them there. Outside, ball 3, full count.
And the full count pitch coming.
Way to foul one off.
Ball hit in the net. And the walk.
He'll take first base. Base on balls.
Runs first. Still 1 out. Now batting for the Lancers, center fielder, number 12, Justin DeClark.
DeClark at bat for the Lancers. I apologize for the silence. Working the Twitter feed as well. Pastor Steve, silence is golden. Only when it's me talking as opposed to you.
You're doing a good job putting words in his mouth anyway.
High. And that'll be
a stolen base.
Safe at second. So Horvath advances to second. That would have been a tough play to make.
LaVille doing a very good job on the day, just looking really sharp in this third inning.
Brady Perez came over, tried to make the tag at second base, but he had to jump about 4 feet in the air to try and grab the snag from Pfeiffer behind the plate.
Holland still pitching fairly well, just that big home run might have got rid of his momentum.
3-0 delivery to DeClark, and it's rung up a strike. 3-1.
Well, coach is making sure he's taking on that pitch. When I was playing baseball, coach said, take on a 3-0 pitch unless you can hit a 5-run home run. So he was pretty solid on the taking stance.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Well, I saw one kid one time get a hit on a 3-0 count from him, and that was because it was the kid's first game and his first plate appearance.
That'll be all the way down. It was flirting with the foul line until it passed third base, and then it went even further to the left. So the count remains 3-2, 1 out. Lancers have taken the lead here in the bottom of the third. 2-1 is the score over the Zebras of Rochester. Checking second, swung hard, fouled off again. We're going to run out of balls for Mr. DeClark. Or another way to look at it, the runners are getting, the players are getting their runs in, chasing down all these balls. I don't think we're going to get the one in the forest behind left field, though.
I don't know.
Inside, that'll be popped up. Shallow, trouble, and drops. Miscommunication there in the outfield for the Zebras.
Yes, it was.
Zach Deshawn coming in. Didn't get enough of a communication going on with Brady Perez at shortstop. And I would argue also with Austin Foster at third base. All three of them came together. None of them, I should say, able to make the play. So runners at first and second for the Lancers. Number 26, Jacob Fogel at the plate now for the Lancers. See if the junior can put something in play here. Fouled off.
So I'll let you rule that one. Is that an error or a single?
That's a single.
I was thinking it was a single, but I wanted to see what Mr. Florian's opinion was there.
When it comes to you arguing, I can't even, as the kids say. You're so odd, I can't even.
That is a wonderful
In the
statement.
dirt, called strike. 0-2 the count.
Everybody's getting a good laugh at that one.
Thank you very much. I'm here most of the evening. 2-1. We're having way too much fun, and that's all right. It's a beautiful day. 2-1 is the score. Jacob Fogel there. A little bit of a look at home plate umpire, Mr. Adam Beery. Wasn't sure about that. Rung up looking, so that'll be the third strikeout for the Rochester. Alec Holland's fourth K of the night for the Zebras. And that'll bring up a chopper foul to Fagley. 0-1, 2 outs, 2 runners on, first and second base. Parker Horvath at second. DeClark at first after a blooper dropped into shallow left field.
Bill, having a lot of fans coming out tonight. I mean, I see members of the softball team and the girls' tennis team. I mean, very nice to see them supporting the boys.
Here at first base, Seif at first and then loses control. That'll bring one. That may bring two, and it will. Justin DeClark and Parker Horvath will score for the Lancers on a missed catch at first base. That'll advance Fagley to second, 2 outs, and it's a 4-1 score for the Lancers here in the bottom of the third. And, you know, it's I hate to say it for this young man, for Alec Holland on the mound for the Zebras, but you got to settle things down and talk to him. If nothing else, to say, look, a couple of bad. There we go, straight up the middle. That'll be fielded well by the shortstop over to first base. So DeLaurel grounds into out number 3, but the damage already done for the Zebras. They give up 3 runs, in the bottom of the third inning. They lead 4-1. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Athletics.
Rochester 1. We're happy now.
Top of the fourth inning. Hit to left field. Fielded by Nick Felke. That is number 10 for the Rochester Zebras. Brady Perez in the leadoff position. Top of the fourth. Rochester trails LaVille 4-1.
And that breaks up Steinke's no-hitter.
Of course it does. Wait.
I said that in the middle of or halfway through the second inning.
But you said, no, it's not when. It's not when, you say it. And there goes the runner at second. Riley Cox to make the play. Safe at second. Tough play there. Anthony Felke's got a really good swing, but sometimes he's got a little bit of a little trouble getting the ball to second base.
As of the end of the third, though, Rochester did not have that hit. We're updating the Twitter feed and trying to keep everything as of that moment.
We are. Nick Felke, blooper into left field. Can't handle it, loses it, has to run back for it. And that means that'll be RBI single for Carter Hooks. Felke had the presence of mind to look to second base, and Riley Cox had the presence of mind to cover second base. So that'll be Tanner Music at the plate.
Batting for Rochester, designated hitter number 1, Tanner Music.
Fogle holding on the runner.
Fouled off.
No outs for the Lancers in this inning.
Swung hard and missed. Nice hook there from Adam on the mound. 0-2, no outs. 4-2 the score, Lancers lead.
That was a sweeping curveball.
And that is strike 3. Caught him looking. Third K of the night for Adam Steinke on the mound.
Rochester. Third baseman number 8.
That'll bring up number 8,
Foster.
Austin Foster for Rochester.
Steinke was checking the runner. Big hit to center.
Both going for it, need to call for it, and that's a catch there. They won't get to first base in time, but they really had to scramble to get back. Almost at second base before he had to return. I believe that's
runner at first.
Base runner
To the plate,
is
Rochester left fielder.
going to have to
number
double
12,
check that because I need to
Sean.
update a couple of things.
Hooks.
Still Hooks on the mound, or at first base, I'm
base.
sorry.
Holland still pitching for Rochester, and Steinke still pitching for the Lancers.
There we go. Zach Deshawn at the plate for the Zebras. Here's delivery from Steinke.
Foster thought he had himself at least a base hit there, and DeClark just coming up with a nice catch, to say the least.
Foul tip. Behind the plate, not a play.
Actually, 1 second. Wrong name.
That's what I figured. We'll double check that. 1-2 the count to Deshawn. Two and two. Deshawn's worked it. Runner at first, 2 outs. Top of the fourth, 4-2 lead for the Lancers. Ball 3 called. Swung hard and missed. The full count pitch Gets to Sean swinging for Rochester. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Lancers leading 4-2 over the Zebras of Rochester. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Athletics. Bottom of the fourth coming up. Riley Cox stepping up to the plate for your Lancers. Dennis Feitz to my left. Terry Hostetler on the video to my right. Matthew Florian in the center. Play-by-play for LVH1. Very happy you're here. Please make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. Just click the button under the video. And also, if you do the Twitter deal, please do make sure you follow us at LVH1 Live. My shameless plug for both of our social media outlets here at LaVille. Riley Cox stares down strike number one, bottom of the fourth underway.
Cox has struck out his first at-bat, but he is looking to break a little bit of a hitting slump through the last two games we've seen.
There's something that could fall, and it does. Riley Cox with a single to shallow left center field. Good leadoff single to get the Lancers back to the top of the order. Nick Felke stepping up to the plate.
Leadoff base hit. Back to the top of the order. Now batting for the Lancers.
When I say something that's positive and it happens, though, I don't get any congratulations.
Congratulations, you said something positive. You happy now?
It happened, though. I didn't just say it positive.
Yeah.
It happened immediately afterwards.
We'll get our, maybe that's what we'll have to do. We'll have to check the psychic powers of both of us. Ball one to Felke.
I believe Riley Cox will steal second base here.
Stop. Please stop. I'm going to mute your microphone. The vote of Pastor Steve with the comment, have you ever seen Riley run before? Have you ever seen his dad, who works our scoreboard here at LaVille, says, have you ever seen a baby giraffe run? How tall is Mr. Riley Cox? He's 6'4", I thought. 6'4 3/4. And just 6'4 and just a wee bit, as Grandpa used to say. Got a lot of body to grow into. Definitely an athlete there. Pickoff attempt at first.
Easily back.
After yesterday's game, there was a tough out, a blind pickoff at second from the Colonial pitcher Stover. Got the signal from his catcher, caught Riley sleeping. He was out by feet. That was the first time LaVille has seen that kind of thing. 3-1 will be the count after that one over Nick Felke's head. Top of the fourth here, no outs. That's just, that's ball four, Nick Felke. Riley Cox is going to be, it's a tough lesson to learn, especially in a game like that where the go-ahead run was at the plate. The tying run was behind him at first. So, it's how else can you teach it other than, hey, experience this. You see how this, you know how it feels, and no one will get on Riley harder about his mistakes than he will, except maybe his grandpa.
No, I think you're right on the first statement there. He had to be hard on himself, thinking that was just a bad timing and shouldn't have been trying to get as big of a lead in that scenario.
Anthony Felke at the plate for the Lancers. Nick Felke had a suicide lead off of first in that last one. Back, safe.
I think if the second baseman held on to the ball, that would have been a close call.
That would have been a close call. As no problem there. Mr. Greg Dettinger, our bases umpire, and a fine educator as well. The pickoff attempt, high, ball 2.
But here's one of the things I think the first base coach might need to communicate a little more to the base runner on second, because he might be able to see if the shortstop's coming in on an angle, but he can't really tell that the second baseman's coming in to cover the base.
I think the one positive thing, ball 3, one of the really positive things about this team, they've gelled. There's only 11 boys on the roster, 11 men. Sorry, men on the roster. But after that, a pickoff attempt at second base, and after the that's ball 4, and that'll be a bases loaded situation. After the pickoff attempt, and after Riley had been called safe at second, never mind that it was a drop pass. You know, never mind it was a drop ball. The dugout absolutely erupted. I mean, they were just thrilled that he, you know, got a positive situation at second base after that really disappointing end to the inning yesterday against Clay. Conference happening at the mound for
The Zebras.
the Zebras. Talking about possibly a change there, and I think it's a good call. I mean, it's no outs,
Bases are loaded now.
and it's you know, this is the point where you need to start thinking about changing something, maybe even just settling the pitcher down. They will keep Holland on the mound.
Well, Rochester is in the same position as us with 11 players.
Bases loaded.
So,
Are you sure about that?
yes, I am. That's what they gave on the lineup they turned into us.
4,
Their 2 subs are Brown and Young.
Well, 11 men traveled for Rochester tonight. Inside, ball 1. 11 men traveled. 14 are on the roster on their Max Preps site. But again, the infallible Max Preps. Swung hard. That'll be foul. No, that'll be safe. That'll be a fair ball, and here comes a stack-up situation.
Man, Nick and Anthony were doing the perfect job running, and Steinke's like, was that fair? Was that
No,
fair?
that was Riley. That was Riley
Yeah,
at
but no,
third
Steinke
base.
stood 5 feet down the
Oh.
baseline.
I didn't miss that
I mean,
play at
that was
first.
Bad base running on his part, but a single that scores 2 RBIs to say the least.
Riley hesitated a little bit too. He wasn't sure.
Runners at first and
Didn't
third.
take a look at his
And the
third
Lancers,
base
second baseman
coach.
number
Third base
15,
coach
Parker
is, of
Horvath.
course, Coach Brian Lawler. So with another 2 runs will score for the Lancers. They have a 6-2 lead, bottom of the 4th, no outs over the Zebras of Rochester. Thought about a pick to third, went to first. Adam Steinke opening it up, RBI single. Outside is the pickoff attempt at second. He will get safe on the bag standing up.
Yes, he does. Horvath with a 1-1 count now, but both the Felke brothers were very heads up. I think if Coach Lawler would have anticipated the throw being a little off to the third baseman, Anthony may have went home, but good call on his part anyway, making sure that LaVille has no outs.
Wow, punched out there. Parker Horvath, I believe, is still 1 for 3 on the day.
1 for 2 with a walk.
1 for 2 with a walk. My apologies.
Now batting
That's
for
the first
Lancers,
out
center
for
fielder
the Zebras
12,
in the bottom of the
Justin DeClark.
4th. They've given up 2 runs in this inning. They've got 2 men on for the LaVille, runners at second and third. At the plate for the Lancers, Justin DeClark watches the pitch go by. That'll be a stand-up scoring play for Anthony Felke. Adam Steinke advances a third. The lead is now 7-2 for the Lancers over the Zebras.
On the day, DeClark is 1 for 1.
Swung hard. Strike 2, 1-2 the count, 1 out to the Lancers.
And Steinke is leading off third kind of aggressively, but Ville's in a good spot right here.
Another strike 3 called. DeClark watched it go by, looked a little low, but that's punched up
2 outs, runner at third.
by our home plate umpire, pardon me, Mr. Adam Beery.
First baseman, number 26,
Fogel at the
Steinke,
plate for
Fogel.
the Lancers. He's still looking for his first solid hit, and that'll be an easy blooper grounder. Tagged up at first base. So, the Lancers end the 4th inning, extending their lead 7-2 over the Zebras of Rochester. Lancers have 5 hits, 7 runs, no errors, 4 strikeouts, and 6 men stranded tonight. The Zebras trail with 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors, 7 strikeouts, 1 man left on base. Lancers lead 7-2. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Athletics.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Indiana. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
I came to dance, 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 dance. I hit the floor cause that's my plans, 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 plans. I'm wearing all my favorite brands, 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 brands. Give me some space for both my hands, 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 hands. You, cause it goes on and on and on. And it goes on and on and on.
Top of the 5th here at Lakeville. Your Lancers lead the Zebras of Rochester 7-2. At the plate for Rochester, number 23, Clay Bayou. Swung hard. That'll be playable to right field. Calling for it. Having to run. Dropping it. That'll be a base hit error. Or a single error, I should say. That's the first error for the Lancers tonight. And that will put Bayou on first base.
Second baseman, number 4, Thomas Rensberger.
Rensberger at the plate now for Rochester. And that's just, tough play out there in right field, staring down the sun.
Yeah, you just misread it off the bat. Once he misread it, he tried to correct and just popped out of his glove. I think that hit him on the palm when he almost caught it.
Tough play in right field. Bunt goes foul. Almost looks like Rensberger got part of his hand there.
I think he might have the umpires talking to him for just a brief second.
Mr. Adam Beery behind the plate for us is our IHSAA official behind the plate. Mr. Greg Denninger controlling the bases. Outside, ball 1-1 the count.
Steinke has really calmed down in this game. Just everything's going well.
Strike to Parker. Hesitate there. Riley says, I'll hang on to it rather than risk a good throw that may have gone wild. Out at second, 1 out. Top of the 5th, runner at first for the Zebras. That'll bring up number 21, center fielder Joey Rock.
The number 9 batter for the Zebras.
There goes the runner. Here comes Riley to cover it. Safe there, close, very close. Riley had to reach for it, a little bit more accuracy at that. That would have been a good play at second. Great effort there by the young man at shortstop trying to get the tag. One and 0 the count. Here's the delivery to Rock. Bunt. Fouled back. Rensberger will take the jog back to second base.
Holland getting his little exercise in.
There you go. Here's the delivery, swung hard, popped up. Riley's got it.
Double
and
play.
Back to 2, and that'll do it. Not sure what Rensberger was thinking there. He was staring Riley right down, watching him make that catch. Says, "You're not going to make it, are you?" Oh, man, you made it. No chance there to get back to second base. So it's a double play to end the top of the fifth. Your Lancers lead the Zebras of Rochester High School 7-2. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Athletics.
From Jamestown to Jonesville, from North Salem to South Milford, from River Forest to Grass Creek. No matter where you live in Indiana, you can enjoy high school sports coverage at its very best on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. It's 35 powerhouse radio stations, Fox Sports Indiana, and the World Wide Web, combining their vast resources to blanket the state, the Midwest, and the world with the purest, most riveting presentation of high school sports in America. From Anderson to Attica, Kendallville to Kokomo, follow the high school sports that make our state great all season long. Thank you, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, and welcome home.
Bottom of the fifth coming up. Dennis Fights on color and keeping stats for us. Terry Hostetler to my right, working video for us. I'm Matt Florian. Very happy to have you with us. It's a Lancer baseball night, and the Lancers are leading the Rochester Zebras 7-2. Pretty dominant performance so far by the Lancer Bats. We are live on Twitter through all the games. We hope you will follow us at LVH1 Live. Batting change, or I'm sorry, position change here for the Zebras. Number 7, Carter Hooks will move. And I'll double check this. He will move from first base to the pitcher's mound. Holland will move to, we'll have to double check that.
Second base, I believe.
Second base, yes, indeed. So that's the night done for that young man. 7 runs given up, 7 Ks. I mean, not a bad, or 6 Ks, pardon me. Not a bad outing, but the runs are what kills you in this game.
Yeah.
Bottom of the fifth inning, leading off for the Lancers.
Stepping up to the plate for your Lancers, number 14, Anthony Fegley. Mr. Steve Cox is our incomparable PA announcer and DJ tonight. Those are the tunes you hear in the background.
Fegley is 0 for 1 on the night.
We'll see if we can change that around. Lost that one. 1-0 the count. So in the middle of the fifth, just to double check our stat line, the Zebras of Rochester have 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 errors, 6 Ks, 1 man stranded. LaVille leads on 5 hits, 7 runs, 1 error, 4 Ks for Adam Steinke on the mound, and 6 men left on base. 2-0 the count. New pitcher on the mound for Rochester. Swung hard. Up. That'll be playable. Out of. Nope. Drops. Foul ball. A little bit of confusion there. amongst the outfield. Clay Bayou coming in from right field. Seemed like he was calling it, but couldn't get his legs carry him there fast enough. So 2-1 the count now to Anthony Fegley.
It's the second or third time you've seen the Zebras have a miscommunication tonight.
That's also, I think, the second or third time they've had a fairly playable foul ball that they couldn't catch there. 3-1. Ball in the dirt. Carter Hooks now on the mound. That's playable to center field. Straight up and straight down. Joey Rock recording the out for Rochester in center field. That'll bring up number 21 for the Lancers,
One out. Batting fourth,
Josh DeLaurel.
Right fielder number 21, Josh DeLaurel.
He's had a little bit of a rough season at the plate. Let's hopefully turn it around here.
Strike one. On the day,
He is 0 for 1, but he was hit by a pitch.
yeah. 094 on the year. Swung hard, strike two. Very quick 0-2 count to DeLaurel.
Just a little behind the pitcher.
In the dirt, ball one. Good eye. Swung hard. That'll be strike number 3. DeLaurel's struggles will continue. That'll bring up Riley Cox. Cox had a pretty solid RBI single.
Now batting Lancer shortstop number 5, Riley Cox.
Yeah, you can tell that Pastor Steve is just a little bit more excited when just a little bit more excited when number 5 steps up to the plate, fouled off and out of play. Fireworks and Roman candles. I don't know how the IHSIA feels about that.
I don't know. I heard we were throwing number 5 a parade.
Oh, boy. Swung hard, also fouled up and out of play over the first base dugout. 0-2.
A late reaction there by Riley. Took about 3 steps after the ball was thrown by him, and he's like, "You threw that?" And
Strike. Oof. Looking back. I don't know about that one.
it was close.
Close, and he had a couple of long, hard looks for our plate umpire, Mr. Adam Berry, but as that'll be the end of the 5th inning. Lancers lead 7-2, 3 up, 3 down. Lancers lead Rochester High School 7-2. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Athletics. Top of the 6th inning coming up. Your Lancers of LaVille lead the Zebras of Rochester High School 7-2. Position change for the Lancers now out in right field. Number 9, Austin Stanley Horvath. A little bit of a change there.
Coach tries to get everyone in and get the playing time. The boys have definitely worked hard for it.
11 men on the roster for LaVille. Just about everyone's put in the hard work nearly everywhere. Top of the order for the Zebras, Alec Holland at the plate. He faces Adam Steinke, who's got 4 strikeouts on the day. Hit hard to Parker Horvath at second base. Not in time. Wild throw. Fogle can't handle it. Picked up by Felke eventually. and gotten to the pitcher, Adam Steinke, covering first, in between first and the pitcher's mound. So single plus error, I'd say, for the Lancers. Single and pass ball. That'll bring up Brady Perez, runner at second base for Rochester. Tough play there. Swung hard. That'll be center field. And that'll be Horvath. Another pass ball.
Out of play.
Out of play. And that'll be another run scored. Tough play there. Stanley Horvath had the catch in right field, then threw it past Anthony Fegley at third base, and that went out of play.
Cox made the throw out of play on the relay. Just tried to hurry up the throw a little too much.
1 out.
So up to bat now is Hooks. He on the day is 0 for 2.
Adam Steinke.
No, my bad, 1 for 2.
Adam Steinke will look to keep that under control as well. Here's the pitch. Inside, swung hard. Another one for Stanley Horvath. Going to back up Parker Horvath, coming from second base to record that catch. 2 outs. Bottom or top of the 6th, pardon me. Designated hitter for the Rochester Zebras coming up, Tanner Music at the plate. Pitch from Adam. Strike 1.
Up.
That'll be playable. That'll be Riley Cox. Good catch. A little bit of redemption there for that wild throw, but as is, not too much damage done. The Lancers still lead the Zebras 7-3.
Rochester 1 run on
bottom of the, I believe it's bottom of the 6th coming up.
Correct.
We'll double check that.
5.5.
Scoreboard says 7, but bottom of the 6th coming up. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Athletics. LVH1 is bringing you live baseball against Rochester. The Zebras trail the Lancers of LaVille 7-2. Nick Felke, top of the order for the Lancers. Number 8, Nick Felke at the plate for LaVille. Dennis Feitz to my left. Terry Hostetler to my right on video. I'm Matt Florian. Welcome to a beautiful day, beautiful evening for baseball here in Lakeville.
And the pitch to Felke.
Swung hard, chopped to the pitcher. Palmed and tossed over. Out number 1. That's Carter Hooks on the mound. Pitching change last inning for Rochester.
Nick made that closer than it needed to be, having some wheels just about 4 steps away, but Hooks took his time throwing it over, too.
1-0 to Anthony Felke at the plate. Swung hard. Inside. 1-1.
Anthony is 0 for 2 on the day with a walk.
In the dirt, ball 2.
And the pitch. Three-one count coming to Felke here. LaVille looking to get a little bit of momentum before trying to close out the game. Off the top of the netting in front of us. Thought that might go in the woods. Full count.
Oh. Not sure about that one. Anthony Felke doesn't like it, but he won't say anything. He was already about a third of the way to first base after tossing the bat. Was sure that was going to be ball 4.
For the Lancers, the pitcher, number 4, Adam Steinke.
I agree with Felke there. Looked low.
A little bit of chatter there from the LaVille faithful. 2-out situation, bottom of the 6th. Lancers haven't reached the base
Since
since
the 4th
this
inning.
Yeah. Hook's doing a fantastic job in the reliever position. Fouled up and out of play, first base side. One and one to Steinke. Here's the delivery. Swung hard, chopped up towards the second baseman. And out at first. 3 up, 3 down. That'll keep the score at 7-3.
Lancers, 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no Rochester errors.
No runs and hits that inning.
Lancers 7, Rochester.
Lancers lead 7-3 over the Zebras of Rochester. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Athletics.
Life's like a road that you travel on. There's one day here and the next day gone. Sometimes you bend, sometimes you stand, sometimes you turn your back to the wind. There's a world outside every darkened door where blues won't haunt you anymore. Where the brave are free and lovers soar. Come ride with me to the distant shore. We won't hesitate to break down the garden gate. There's not much time left today.
Top of the 7th coming up here at the LaVille Baseball Diamond, number 8. Joey Rock stepping up to the plate for the Rochester Zebras. They are in a 7-3 hole against the Lancers of LaVille. Adam Steinke on the mound doing a fantastic job so far. Here's the delivery. 7th inning underway. Ball 1.
In the 7th inning, you will see the 5, 6, and 7 pitchers for the Zebras going 0 for 5 combined on the day. Foster, Deshaun, and Bayou.
Dennis, I want to thank you for your time. You've been doing a great job here. You've been, it's great to have the alums that are really involved with the broadcast as it's 1-1 to rock. But honestly, if you keep getting Coach Will Hostrauser fired up, I'm not going to be responsible for your safety. Fouled up and out of play. Vogel may have had, well, no, that's going to be a bit of a stretch even for Jared.
Yeah.
He had to run the gauntlet of Mr. Greg Dettinger there. A little bit of a smile on both faces there. Greg knows he got in the way, but that's all right. Foul ball, so it's 1-2 to Rock. I'm sorry, yeah, we are at Foster. I'm looking at the position. Joey Rock playing number 8 position, center field, so that's my ball. My bad. Austin Foster at the plate. He's got a 2-2 from Steinke. Here's the delivery. Swung hard. And I think into the face mask it looked like, and it sounded like, of Mr. Adam Beery.
I think that was more the chest, but it definitely got Mr. Beery good.
He'll shake it off a little bit. Yep, he's shaking that left arm. He's smiling, though, not crying. There's no crying in baseball, Dennis.
Man.
Oh.
Tough day.
Tough shirt. 2-2. Here's delivery from Steinke. In the dirt. Caught him looking. Out number 1. That'll bring up Deshaun.
1 out.
Left fielder Zach Deshaun,
Batting now for Rochester.
who is, I'll double check this. That'll bring
Rochester
Zach
left
Deshaun.
fielder, number
Clay
12,
Bayou
Zach
still
Deshaun.
in the
On deck circle.
on the on deck circle for the Zebras. Middle of the order hasn't been doing too terribly much for Rochester tonight. Strike 1.
No, they have not.
Strike 2.
Beautiful breaking ball.
Very quickly 0-2 hole for Zach Deshaun. In the dirt, no business chasing that last one. Here it comes from Steinke, fouled off and out of play, first base side. That'll send Tyler Holland, sophomore, chasing it down, doing an excellent job as the ball. It's a swinging strikeout. And that'll be number 6 on the day for Adam Steinke as Zach Deshaun goes down.
Brings to the plate.
Number 23, Clay Bayou,
Clay Bayou.
right fielder, now batting for the Zebras.
And the first pitch is a little chin music. Not much you see from Steinke. Usually very controlled with his balls thrown.
1-0, swung hard, foul tip. Chopped it back out of play against the backstop. Here's the pitch. Swung hard. Riley Cox has it at short. Gets it over to first base. And that'll be out number 3 for the Lancers. And that'll do it for your ball game. Final score. The Lancers beat the Zebras 7-3. Congratulations to the Lancers on a fantastic home season. We will see them again next week. And we will be online tomorrow at Knox. We will record that game. The ladies face Knox in the first round of the HNAC tournament there at Knox High School. I'll have Dennis do some final stats for you in the next couple of minutes.
Yes, I will. I'm totaling it up right now. I'll run through the game stats as I'm totaling up the stats for the Zebras. But 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 errors, 9 strikeouts, 1 runner left on base. And for the Lancers, you have 5 hits, 7 runs, 2 errors, 6 strikeouts, all going to Steinke, and 6 runners left on base. So, I mean, just very good games played by both teams. I mean, not a lot you can say. LaVille just kind of dominated until the pitching change where they went 0 for 6. Nice job pitching by Hook, but the damage was done against Holland. I mean, against Holland, LaVille got all 5 hits, all 7 runs were earned. He did have some strikeouts, being 6 of them. But the win for Holland will collect the loss, though. He had those stats, but Steinke collects the complete game win, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, and 6 strikeouts, so very good day for him. The boys will be playing in a little bit while, but just going to take a day or two to relax after 2 tough games. And this should have been senior night, so last home game of the season anyway. Congratulations to them. Manchester doubleheader on Saturday.
Lancers improve to 13-10 on the year. We're going to have to double-check that Manchester double play. I'm not sure that's going to be the case. I know for a fact the next game that I have on my schedule is going to be May 25th at Oregon Davis, which is really going to be played at Newton Park. That's the opening round of the IHSAA 1A Baseball State Tournament.
That is something very interesting that I did not know Oregon Davis was the host team. But LaVille will be playing, and I hope to see LaVille do very well.
It's on the bracket officially.
Yes.
It's a home, but of course LaVille is the host for the
Proximity.
for this. Yeah, I believe it's the 51st sectional or 52nd sectional. Anyway, that'll be all of that. Of course, will be broadcast on LVH1. We hope you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just click subscribe underneath the video. We also hope you follow us on Twitter at LVH Live 1, or I'm sorry, at LVH1 Live, where we live tweet the games every time we're out. We will be on tomorrow once again from Knox High School. The ladies of LaVille will take on the Knox High School. I'll have to double check that. I should know that. Is that
Zebras.
No, the Zebras.
Well,
not funny.
What team? Manchester?
I believe, no, not Knox.
Knox is the Redskins.
There you go. The Redskins of Knox High School in the HNAC opener. And then Saturday, if the ladies lose at Knox, they will play at 10 a.m. If they win, they will play at noon, 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. for the HNAC championship. And then starts exam week here at LaVille. But either way, it's a Lancer victory here, 7-3 over the Zebras of Rochester. Dennis Feitz has been my color man. Terry Hostetler has been my videographer. I'm Matthew Florian. On behalf of head coach Brian Lawler, our athletic director, Mr. Will Hostrauser, our announcer, Mr. Steve Cox, and our entire staff here at LaVille, thank you so much for joining us for this home season at LaVille. This has been a production of LVH1. Any retransmission, duplication, or republication of this broadcast without the express written consent of LVH1 and the Union North United School Corporation is prohibited. Thank you so much for joining us. On behalf of the entire crew here, this is Matt Florian saying until next time, thanks for joining us, and go Lancers! You've been watching LVH1, the voice of Lancer Athletics.